So, greetings and welcome to another podcast slash live stream with Recess. I already have someone here, the life of a UI fresher. How are you? I like that name, very interesting. How are you? How is school going? I'm just here to chat with you guys and see how I can spend a few minutes of my time to give you some value. So yeah, you have the floor.
Okay, hi. Good evening.
Hi.
School is you know me, it's Atinike by the way.
Okay,
So
hi. Life of a
school is
UI
going
fresher.
well. Yeah, school is going well, I guess. We'll start our tests next week and I'm quite excited because I feel like I'm preparing well for them. And school is not as stressful as it used to be. At least I'm meeting up with not even meeting up with deadlines. If they give us an assignment or class work or whatever, just something to do before the day we're
Yeah.
supposed to submit, about 3 days before I'm done. And it's just making school easier for me. And
Fire,
I like
fire,
it.
fire. Yeah. Once you go pro, you never go back. I'm happy to hear that. Yeah, you're saying?
So that's mostly it. So it's for now. Don't have much
I mean,
to do.
that's good news as far as I'm concerned, because that is success for us at Recess. Hearing that you feel more in control of the daily decisions. School is not dragging you by your neck. Instead, you're the one dragging school by the neck, and that's how it should be. I'm very happy for you. Very happy to hear that. I always check in with people who buy slash borrow the book and find out like what they're doing to prep for, especially when there are exams and tests, just to make sure that they're crossing like T's and dotting I's. So this is not like a personal attack or anything, but are you making sure to test your knowledge while preparing for your tests?
Well, I wanted to start that today. I'd not had
Okay.
time to focus on that. Most of my reading sessions were for reading, trying
Okay,
to
for reading.
understand the material. Because if I don't
Yeah.
understand the material, I won't know what to ask the AI. Yet.
Okay, fair. Uh, and are you able to get textbooks that your lecturers recommend if they
Yes.
provide? This is
What I
awesome.
did was I went to meet a senior and they gave me a folder filled with textbooks, PQs, videos, and just all the materials I need for 300 level first semester. And it has been very useful.
Awesome. Sounds like you're going to have a very amazing semester. To be honest, don't be surprised if you blow your own mind. That's how such things happen. Yeah. So that's good news. I'm very happy for you and very proud of your decisions because uh, I mean, I'm not there with you, but you sound very happy. You sound very confident. And in fact, the fact that you've been doing the work that you're giving in school, the way school is arranged, once you're doing the work, there's no way you will know what's happening in the class. And now that you're reading and studying even before class, and I think I saw a previous comment from you where you said you're even able to contribute with your mates and everything. Now it sounds like you're going to have a fire semester, and yeah, I'm here for the good news. I actually can't wait. It's always very exciting to hear the good news because a friend of mine who started his masters recently, when we did undergrad, he wasn't too happy with his performance. Like it was nothing to write home about. But he got the book because he wanted to start clean. And in his first semester, he got all A's. And for me, now that guy is a genius, but school was kicking his ass. Like to me, he's a genius. Any projects I'm working on, I'm always calling him. But school was kicking his ass. And when he decided to start fresh and start on a clean slate and everything, of course he was paying attention to everything and wasn't just like reading because there are people that I remember when I first saw the book in 2019, there were people that were reading it like a comic or like a storybook. That's why there are warnings in the book. Like, look, I know this book is funny. Like, unfortunately for you, I'm a funny writer. I don't mean to like make you laugh, like, but it's just like a consequence of me writing, like, because I want to enjoy the writing, but like people tend to ignore the advice because they're too busy laughing. But he didn't, and I was so happy when he told me he got all A's, and that was like I haven't even gotten all A's before. Like, so for me, I'm very happy to whenever I hear good news from students that have trusted me. So yeah, I'm very happy for you. It sounds like you're going to have a quiet semester, and once you see what you're capable of, and you start to soak in your thoughts, it becomes second nature. Every semester you're just ready to do it again, and that is what I want for every student. Like, if I mean, someone out there will be listening to this when once it's out, and if you're listening, that's what I want for you too. Because I mean, once you taste it, like I said, once you go pro, you never go back. You just can't. It's sweet. You realize that yes, I'm killing this. I'm awesome. I'm sure when you impress yourself with your ability to handle the stresses that school brings, like you every problem you face and you beat, you become more and more eager to face new ones and more able to handle them, even if they're stressful, even if they're annoying, even if they're so yeah, I'm happy for I didn't really have any talking points. I just wanted to talk to like students today and find out like how you guys are doing. And today I started off on a very great note. So I'm happy for you. When Let me check you guys calendar. But when are your tests? You said next week.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, I'm wishing you success. You definitely kill it. It's not just mouth. You're doing the work. There are times I remember I was in 200 level and I used to. Uh, so I was one. I mean, so I guess it's about time I tell the story. I used to be this prayerful student. Like we pray, but we don't read. So I did rubbish for like that was part of why I was failing. Like prayer is not the problem, but I've met many students who they see my transcript and they're like, "Oh, God will do it for me." I'm like, "Look, you're the one that has to do this for you. Uh, you're the one. Like this is not." And because I've been in that situation, and I know that there's not much I'll say that will change their mind until they see for themselves that look, this is all me, that I have to put in this effort. If you want to uh pray about anything in particular, like you're free, so it doesn't affect your grades in the same way, like like in the way rather you would think it does. Like you can't like do rubbish on paper and hope that your prayer will be some abracadabra that will end up uh, covering all your errors and or what's the thing that they say again. But nah, it was terrible. I did rubbish and I was so sure of the rubbish because I just felt my prayers would work. And I was in for a rude awakening, and I finally, which is why I put in. I'm sure you're familiar with the graph, or rather the infographic. This where we have the three circles and the square around them. That
Yes.
image is if you don't know, if as a listener, if you don't know what we're talking about, you should go and check research's page because I don't know how to explain this to you. This is a podcast, so like there's no way to. But basically, it is the graph the infographic rather that explains all the things you need to balance, and in there is no space where your spirituality actually affects anything. Now that doesn't mean that I'm condemning your way of that. For God's sake, no. Uh, Please believe everything that you want to believe. I think everything that you believe is whatever you believe is correct. No problem. But the thing is, once academics are involved, you need to like God doesn't come down to make decisions for you. You have to make them yourself. If it's gods that you worship, gods they don't come down. It's you that will make those decisions yourself and live with the consequences. So if you're actually tired of working hard and not seeing results, and how I started the book from the beginning was saying that um, these are the four powers you're born with. Now, so I'm not standing in the way of any belief you want to have. The God you serve gave you these four powers. Even the different gods that everybody serves, if they are different religions, we all have these four powers. So no matter your religion, this thing will work. That is basically my point. I didn't even know this was going to end up being a whole religious rant, but um, I'm just trying to advise the version of me out there who believed that praying some more or spending some extra time in my service units was going to get me the grades I wanted. I actually ended up failing more. And to be honest, the people that were even leading the service units were like they had extra years. So I don't know why I didn't consider it a red flag at the time. But after I failed my own, my eyes opened like this. I said, yay, I'm running away. I have to find out what I'm doing wrong and figure out how to change. So I think you asked me how I felt or responded to seeing my first carryover. How did I feel? I mean, I wrote about that in a book, but I
That
don't
was
know.
even my question then. That wasn't my question then. You
Oh, what
said
was it?
something about in the book. You said something about someone deceived you into getting it, or so that's what I
Oh, I
wanted
said
to
you have
know.
to miss. Oh my God, you have to miss me for that one. No, that one is a horror story. If you see, this is just me, putting in a clause right out there for anybody that happens to catch me. You might never catch me actually, but I mean that is just a little game I'm playing out there. Like if you find me, yes, I will explain to you the story. But if you don't find me, then you never know the story. That's just it.
Check.
But yeah, yeah, yeah. But no, it was crazy. It was crazy. I think I hinted at a part of it in one piece of content, but it's archived. Maybe I'll repost it one day, but I won't tag you. I won't let anybody. If you see it, you see it. But anyway, um, that was some lecturers are actually dangerous. Like you should be very careful, and just focus on doing what you're supposed to and not trying to look for any way out. It's not like I was trying to find a shortcut, no, but I actually trusted a lecturer and it didn't go well. So the in the book I also present lecturers as your opponents, not necessarily like as your enemies, but rather as your opponents, because they have the knowledge that you need, and they are the ones that decide if you know it or not. So they are like your adversaries in that case, not necessarily evil, even though some of them are. But seeing them as people who you have to understand, connect with, and what's the last one? I don't want to say manipulate, but hmm, something along those lines. Like you don't necessarily have to. You're not trying to be their friend. You are a student. They are a teacher. You know that's basically what I'm saying. You need to have a decent relationship with them. They don't need to even know you, but they will know your face at least if you are in a classroom. And as far as they are concerned, they shouldn't know you for anything that will affect your marking. Because believe it or not, they are human beings. As much as they might try to be um, neutral parties, human error and human emotions can still get in the way of. In fact, they might hold you to a higher standard if they consider a specific behavior. Like if you're a troublemaker, they will just expect that you write rubbish and they will probably mark you more critically. Anyway, I didn't even know how I got to this topic, but I hope it's relevant to someone out there. I hope it's relevant to you too. Do you have any questions about your process and your systems in school so far, and or any questions about uh, the book? Or I guess I may or may not call this part. Or yeah, have you picked the chapters? Because I remember I sent you a message. I've not heard from you. Have you picked the chapters that you want, or are you going to? Do you have a second decision, or you just want to take some time and see how it goes. I don't know. Up to you.
Well, to answer your second question, I was
Yeah.
strongly considering getting the old book,
Yeah.
but that is when I have the money for it.
Fair.
Since I've seen it, I've tasted it, I would work hard towards getting that money real quick, Because
Yeah.
even if it was feasible about last week, I don't think it is right now because I had to make sacrifices for this academic thing to work. I had to quit
Yeah.
my
Yeah.
job. I had about how many jobs? 3 jobs. I had to quit
Wow.
all of them so I could focus on my academics. Plus, my uncle
Yeah.
called me again and he was like, "You have to do well in school. If you don't do well, you will
Wow.
suffer." I'm like,
Yeah.
okay. So I just knew
Yeah. So
the
pressure.
right path to
Yeah.
take. And I
Yeah.
did that.
Yeah.
Then
But yeah. I'm listening.
I would get the book. I would get the book. It will be
Okay.
soon. I would get it.
I mean,
So
up
to
to you.
answer
Your time.
your first question,
Your time. I just wanted to know if you were interested, because I can't assume until you let me know your thoughts. That's
yeah,
how we do. Yeah.
I understand.
Yeah.
Then to answer your first question, there are
Mm-hmm.
some courses I have issues with, and
Yeah.
this one is not even an issue for my part. There's
Okay.
there's this particular course, Fluid Mechanics 2. The
Okay. Yeah.
the lecturer that took them last year, I
Mm-hmm.
think he traveled abroad, and
Okay. Yeah.
he's not around. So it's not the situation of me going to meet the seniors. They even gave me, like I said, they gave me materials and everything, but the materials the lecturer used is not the one they are using at the moment.
Yeah.
He's
Great.
a new lecturer, and I feel like the last time he taught was about 13 years ago. Yeah, so he's even reading from a note in class. The classes are kind of boring because all we do is write notes, write about 5 to 6 pages every 2 hour
Yeah.
class. And
Wow.
I don't know, it was very stressful because I don't know where to start from. I don't know what books to use. He didn't recommend any textbook. Some of my friends went to meet him to ask him, "Oh, sir, what textbook can we use?" and all of that. I don't know. He just did not recommend any. I know, and most of the time he doesn't even attend classes because I think he has some things to deal with and all. So I don't really know how to approach this course. I don't know where to start from. I tried to ask my friends from other schools that are also in engineering too. Like
Yeah.
I linked up with YouTube playlist and all, but they said they really don't have something to help me in that aspect. So I don't
I
know
see.
what to do. Really don't know what to
I
do.
see. Fluid mechanics. I mean, you're in luck because I also did engineering. So I mean, if I was like a law student, you'd be so lost. Cause I mean, I would be so lost because I don't know. I wouldn't know fluid mechanics. But I do well in fluid. I can't even remember. But I know that at that time when I was doing fluid mechanics, I wasn't okay. You're in mech. Yeah. Okay. So yeah. Okay. So you're in 300 mech now, right?
Yes.
Okay. So that's one of your core courses. I did civil rather than like I have been civil. But anyway, first of all, you could meet, since he is not forthcoming, you could meet your HOD and ask what textbooks they are using for. That's actually what their job is. They just tell you this man is this. They just tell, this man is that, or this woman is that, or this. You never know, but that's their job. Their job is to make sure that everybody is doing their job. That's the head of the department. So you can say you're not there to complain about, you're not even trying to be friends. You just want help knowing. That's one option. I'll give you like three. You want to know what textbook or textbooks they are getting the curriculum or whatever from, because you want to do more extensive reading. There's no HOD that will not be excited. They're like, she wants to read more. Let's go there. That's one. If that one doesn't work for you, or the HOD is someone you would rather avoid and not meet until you, like, even at gunpoint. Second option is, I mean, I guess you probably do this one. You take if you've written a test already, that this one has to have a test already, but you take their questions and search the internet for where they got the questions from. That's two. And the third one is to send the course rep. Send the course rep on behalf of everyone. Say, look, everybody in the class is confused. We want to pass you. But the thing about lecturers like that is, that's in my experience. I can't speak for yours, but lecturers like that tend to want everyone to pass because it's their first whatever. They don't want it to look bad on them and whatever. So they will actually be very supportive when it's time for test exams. But it could not. It could like we don't want to. I teach a lot through the book to assume and expect for the worst because that tends to be what happens. So don't rest on this one. But worst case, you ask the lecturer, the course rep or whatever, to go and disturb this lecturer on behalf of the whole class. Because while you guys are writing notes, it sounds like if you guys have to write notes on paper, it sounds like he's getting old notes and teaching you guys. We don't know for certain. You could also Google those notes and see if any of the keywords pop up. But basically, you now have to do your own findings if the lecturer is not helpful. Because I've had lecturers that were new and we didn't have any past questions and everything, and of course we had to find ways to find it. Finding the textbooks and all that is just to make just to narrow down your area of concentration, because knowledge in this world is infinite. That if you decide to you might end up spending too long and you won't actually learn what he's going to test you on. A fourth thing, because you mentioned the textbooks, there's this For Dummies series. I think I got the Fluid Mechanics for Dummies series, but I don't know. YouTube you said you had YouTube. I don't know if you know Khan Academy. Do you know Khan Academy? Yeah, they might have helpful tools because I think what you will need for Fluid Mechanics is visualization to help you understand. Okay, we did Fluid Mechanics in civil actually, but that was 400 level. Yeah, I got an A in that course. I remember that. Okay, and the lecturer was crazy. I wrote about that lecturer too. He ended up being my project supervisor. But anyway, you try. I think the best one is it? Let me pull up my. Fluid Mechanics. The one that most people use is an Indian textbook. Bansal and Rajput. There are two. Do you guys use Rajput? Do you know about Rajput and Bansal?
Yeah, I have it.
Those are the ones we used at least. You can check the notes and see if you guys have those ones. Because even the plumber that does some work for me, he uses. I was surprised he uses Bansal and uses Rajput. I was like, what the hell? But if those ones are not explaining to you, because I had no issues with those last time I checked. But if those ones are not explaining to you, you can use the For Dummies series. I use them a lot because I wanted to break down a lot of things. Because once something becomes too complex for me or more, I just want to make sure that I understand it from the first principle. If you don't get it from the first principle, especially things like engineering, everything else will become confusing because you don't have the proper framework to look at things through. So you can check. There might be Fluid Mechanics for Dummies. I'm googling that right now.
There was something that I considered though. The first time he came to class, he brought his notes and he said, like I said, he has some things he has to do with. So he asked if anybody would volunteer to type out his notes. I wanted to do this. That was my first instinct that if I'm going to pass the course, I need to type out those notes. I considered my workload. I cannot really do that. I cannot really do it. I just left.
And especially when you don't know the volume of notes he's trying to give, you don't know.
Exactly.
Yeah, if you just commit to it, it might just be. I can imagine. I forgot to speak on something you mentioned about side hustles you wanted to get. Look, I had by 500 level, I had a job. It was part time anyway, and I was working with some US company. But before then, I had clients I was freelancing with, sometimes in Nigeria, sometimes abroad. But I had jobs. Like the thing is, you can take on those jobs once you are very good at balancing the academics first. So it's not like you will need to lose out on everything you care about. But if you need to, balance this and see how the semester goes, and you know what you need to do and what you did well and what you might need to improve by next semester, once you are feeling confident about your ability to take on every semester, you can then add more workload. Because I mean, right now um, I have like 5 or 6 projects I work on daily. Do you get? And nobody's chasing me behind my back to get anything done. I'm not lazy. I get everything done, and I live alone. I'll still cook for myself. I'll still clean my house. I'll still take care of myself. I'll still exercise. I'll still do everything. So when I tell you guys that this thing is for life, like it, everything that you want to do, all the heights you want to achieve, once you can learn to balance a few things, you can begin to add more and more on top of them and adjust to see what is feasible. Of course, there will be what's it called? Is it takeaways? No. What's the word they use for that thing? But anyway, you have to sacrifice some things or of temporarily sometimes, but the balance is definitely possible once you know what you need to maintain and what can be postponed or abandoned entirely. And I'm saying that for your gigs and your jobs and everything, they are an important part of your development in school because that's where you learn how to, you know, how to make money for yourself, how to, because I mean, the job I was able to find was from, I invested money that I had made from freelancing and all these gigs into building my own personal brand, and then I now found the remote job and all that. So definitely, you shouldn't like completely eliminate those things from your plans for yourself. You're like, this is being young. I mean, I'm still young, but being young is a time where we are all meant to try out as many things as possible because that experience is what prepares you for your future. So definitely don't like abandon your prospects. Just know that yeah, in the future you have time for them. So don't be too disappointed about money. And even if you don't want to buy or rather can't afford it and you need it more urgently, there's still the option of creating content to get the book for 500 naira. You've seen that option?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean it's up to you, but um the terms and conditions to make sure that everything is on standard. But my end goal is, my measure of success with Recess is the results, not money. That's why when we sold the book in 2019, we sold it for 500. In fact, I wanted to sell it for 200. That's how that's how important it was to me. But I just said, you know what? Let me just try and give. And people still pirated even when it was 500. So I mean, people, and they still didn't apply it. That was the most painful part. Like, you pirate it and you still don't apply. That's like 2-0. Like, God. But nah. But yeah, the end goal for me is that you achieve the results you want, and then that can, when people see if you decide to go that route with to get the book, let's say you need it sooner than later, you end up, you can then begin to work as a brand ambassador for Recess, and there are no deadlines or anything for stuff like that. It's when people meet you and ask you for help and support, and then you now be a plug, that sort of thing, and then you get your cut and blah blah blah, everything. It's just like you're not under any pressure to, and I think those are the best kinds of jobs for students, because you shouldn't be juggling too many deadlines. You already have the academic ones. You should minimize as much as possible. Yeah.
Yes. You're
So yeah,
speaking my language.
yeah, man. Uh, yeah, no, for real. The way the way research will grow in a couple of years. I mean, people will come back to this, and even I will listen to this maybe 5 years from now, and I will laugh because I knew, and it just unfolded the way I saw it would, and it definitely will happen on the shoulders of people who have tried it, have seen the results, and other people are on their neck like, help me, and they're like, look, I have my own academics to handle, so you send them to us. You get, that's basically it, because I know that once the changes happen, your friends will begin to come behind you and be like, Tinike, how far, what is this, show me the way, show me, because that was literally what happened to me. That I was failing with my friends, and once everything changed, they're like, Wallo, what happened, what changed, please. And because there were so many people, I was like, you know what, I have to write a book, because I can't imagine on weekends like this, around this time actually, my room would be full of people coming to meet me to ask me a question about academics, to ask me a question about something they're facing in school and stuff like that. It was humbling, but at the same time, it was like, I want to free up some time for myself. So that was why I published that book, because I'm like, yeah, I can't be doing this every time. So what about the time for myself? But yeah, for the lecturer stuff, try out those 3 things, and then worst case scenario, does Brilliant have fluid mechanics? Let me find out. Do you know this app, Brilliant?
Yeah, I think I've heard of it while I was writing my work reports.
Yeah.
I think it was the website I saw, Brilliant something. I can't remember.
Brilliant.org. Yeah, they have they use, okay, I'm right there on their website. They have a wiki where they teach fluid mechanics, but it may not, I don't know, it may just be helpful to understand the basic principles. They are not like the syllabus that your lecturer is using. That was why I mentioned going to the HOD, because if the lecturer is, have you even opened the Bansal and the Rajput? Have you tried them out?
I've not opened it yet. The last class, I had to attend a practical, so I even got there late. But I was now trying to copy my notes and catch up.
Yeah.
So that, because we have the class on Monday, so I wanted to finish my notes today. By Monday, I will just be able to follow. So I've not even started opening it. I've not started reading it or doing anything at all.
But check them out. I think they are very good textbooks. If even my plumber is using Rajput and Bansal, come on.
Good.
come on. So I was very impressed that he still reads his textbooks. So now I was like, yeah, use my plumber. I don't want to hear anything with my plumber. Somebody that's studying continuously, I don't want to hear anything again. But yeah, it is a very good textbook. So try it out. You might see questions you solved in class there, and once you do, you'll be encouraged to practice out the questions and see how they solve it. Once you just see the similarity between something I did, I guess this is not in my book, but in my notes in school, I always had folders for notes, folders for textbooks, for other materials, and then I think I can't remember what it was, but let me check. Textbooks. You should save your textbooks, so because after school, and your notes, because actually that's what you paid for. Do you get? But it doesn't feel like that when you're in school. It doesn't feel like that. But I tell you that right now, sometimes I'm looking for a note, and I'm like, Kai, why did I do that thing? But and yeah, I don't have those lecturers' numbers to ask them this thing again, because of course they'll be happy to hear me. But okay, so in my notes I had assignments, extras, notes, and textbooks. That's how I organized everything. So I had each course was organized there with a subfolder: assignments, extras, notes, and textbooks. And I would take my time to look through the textbooks and find out the similarities between the notes and the textbooks, so that you're jumping on the flow quick and easy, because the textbooks will have questions for you to practice, which your lecturers will use to set your questions. So definitely don't dull. Rajput, they are the gold standard, I think, of fluid mechanics. Man, those Indian guys been saving us from time. Wow. But yeah, definitely check those textbooks out. I think you like, because they are easy to understand and the visualization is cool. But if you need to see the things happen, I'm sure there are a couple of tools you can play around with, on the internet. I mean, being a student in 2024 is much cooler than being a student in 2019. I'll tell you that for sure, because I'll be 2018 now, so I'll be 2017 to 2018, sure. But it was much cooler because right now there's so much more to help you understand. So yeah, you just need to know that it will help you, because I've been studying procrastination as an emotion. And basically, procrastination is not just when you sit in your bed and you have work and you keep ignoring it. It's when you have work and you're running away to go and do something else because you're not. It's not necessarily fear, but you're just uncertain about what is inside. So perhaps your reason for putting off the textbook is the whole uncertainty behind the new teacher, the new. But sincerely, the best way to get rid of it is dive in head first. Like, don't even think, just close your mind and do the thing. So open the textbook and find a question that looks familiar and solve it, and you realize, oh yeah, this is exactly what this man was talking about in class. And before you know it, you're on the same flow as him. So for sure.
Then
Yeah.
also about term papers.
Term papers. What do they expect from you in your term paper? Have you written
What
it
do you
before?
think? No, okay. For this week, I think I have 2 term papers to submit.
Okay.
And I think I have to submit them in groups. So there's the issue of being the group leader, being in a group, and nobody's answering.
I mean, that was chapter 8. Oh yeah, the group leader. God, I ran away from such things, man. But every time I wasn't the group leader, we failed. You know, that has been the terrible thing. Like, once people see me there, they relax, and I'm like, why are you relaxing? Like, you think I'm going to do? Don't relax, though. I know. And when you're asking them to do work, they are procrastinating. They are bringing in their own bad student habits to drag it down. But the thing is, what I learned to do is negotiation. Pretty much. In chapter 8, I talk about how I even include like materials to help. I don't know if you had the time to check it out, but pretty
All
much
the materials.
nice. You need to even. I even mentioned there. This one is unorthodox, but some students, if you're not going to do the work at all, like, you pay money, let everybody else do the work since you're not going to do it. Because literally, everybody that is here, you're not going to drag us down if we give you a part to do, and then you waste all the time, and then we're depending on you, and then you mess up, you drag all of us down. If I never tried it, but it's something I even recommended there when I revised the book for 2024, because I'm like, look, whatever you need to do to pass your don't allow anybody drag your grades down. And at the same time, they expect that maybe because you're now up and doing that, you do it for everybody. You're not doing that nonsense. What do you mean by that? So it's like, you have to find it. If these people are not responding, and the only option, if they don't want to do that, is the other option for them is that you bring up their case with the lecturer who gave you the responsibility. And of course, nobody wants that. So if they're not going to jazz up, you go pay money. That's my own perspective. That's how I handle it. Because I'm like, look, everybody that is here, we're all students like you. You are not a senior student. So, but anyway, I'm even getting annoyed just thinking about the kind of stress we would have to face. But
Well, how do I start with term papers? How do I start? I don't know where to start from.
did you see the video that I put about final year projects? The video I embedded.
Yeah, I
Um,
think. Let me check. I think I copied the link. That's cool. I copied the link,
I mean,
and
can I stop you from copying? You've already copied it. I'm not going to tell you uncopy it or a big deal. It's done. It's done. So, what's it called? That will just give you, that's for final year project. It's more like bulky and whatever. But once you know the outline of what you're expected to do, then you can begin to create the skeleton of it. You're building it from the outside in, based on how they expect. I don't know what your school might have a preference. So you just collect. In fact, it's possible that the person who gave you all those materials might have that report in there, and you see a sample of how they did there, and bam, you have your way. You just need to know what is expected of you, and you will be able to deliver. That's it. Because that's the question you're asking. What is expected of you? And I'm telling you that it depends on your school. So you need to find a sample of that work, and you'll be able to know what to do from there. So that video for the final year project just gives you like a general idea of how to present project work in general. Because it's like, if you it's very confusing when it's the first time. So that framework just helps you know that, okay, this is what, the moment I followed that video, the visiting lecturer from UI who saw my project said this is a master's level work. And I was like, yes, yes. Awesome. But I mean, it was after seeing a YouTube video that actually helped me out to understand. If you don't know what you're doing, when it's time to present, you're confused, you are anxious. But after I understood what was expected from me in each section, it was not hard, you know. So that's all you need to find out. Once you know that everything is doable, you know, that's basically the system that is required for the report. So your job is just to find out. So yeah, what's the time? 6:56. We don't try now. That's like
Mhm.
15 minutes. Do you
Yeah, I've
have
gained a lot.
Yeah, good. Do you have any other questions before we go?
Not really, not really.
All right then.
I'm okay.
I'm wishing you success this semester and your tests and everything. Don't be afraid to jump in to any new textbooks to new environment. And what's it called? Definitely leverage on AI to test you. You could even once you find out that Rasput or Bansal are the textbooks that your lecturer is using, you can ask your AI based on those textbooks. The set
Okay.
questions based on exactly. So and you can feed it other questions to it's a language learning model. You can feed it questions and now understand what how to test you. You can even ask it to make it harder. In fact, the harder the test, the better you're prepared for the actual test because you realize that this one is even easy self. But then there's a piece of advice I would like to leave you with. This one my dad gave it to me. He said when an exam is too easy, you should calm down even more because it's a trap. You could actually mess up because you are too excited. You know, I
Mhm.
think was it the last episode before this, I talk about how important it is to stay calm, not excited, not depressed or anxious, but just calm, like ready for whatever challenge comes, and ensuring that whether it's triple check, safe, triple check. I used to be lazy about double checking until I made the rule where once my paper is done, I go to the bathroom and come back and look at it with fresh eyes.
Mhm.
That just changed it for me. So make sure you're doing all those checks and everything because you're a human being. Academics just wants you to be meticulous. And so once you know the touch points you need that the places that are prone to error, you make far less mistakes. You're still a human being, you make mistakes here and there, but when you're making less mistakes, you have better results. And once you know where you are more prone to making mistakes, you can create new systems to fix that. So yeah, I'm glad things are working out for you. This is success on my part. I am very happy to hear that. So yeah, wishing you more and more success. Can't wait to see the awesome things you do. So yeah, thanks for coming to our show.
All right. Thank you so
Yeah,
much. Bye.
my pleasure. Bye.